Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of a brand new series, Event Talk. In this series, we will be inviting guests from event industry having unique expertise in this industry. As we know, experience is the best teacher, and learning from somebody else's experience is an art. Today's episode is special, and I can tell you right now that this is going to be one of the most energetic session that you will be having on this series. Rahul Grover. I feel uncomfortable while telling Rahul Grover because I have always been used to calling you Rahul Bhai because he is like my elder brother and I have learned a lot personally from him. Even when I used to work with him, he was always ready to help kind of a person. Now he has reached such a position where he has touched almost every corner of event industry from production, client servicing, business development, doing weddings, national, international, with a 14 years of experience. He began his career with Asia's best event management company, that is Whiscraft, then switched to Fountainhead and 77, where we met. And now he's working in one of the most biggest and world's largest advertising company, having 32,000 employees, 400 offices, and in 100 countries they are present. So Rahul bhai, I'm very, very happy to have you on our first episode. And we begin with the first question. Why events?
Great, Yash. Thank you for the great introduction. And I'm very happy to be here, support you. You're doing a fab job. And I'm sure, a lot of people will leeway through this and the future event is safe, with videos and tips like these. So that's great.
Yes. So we begin with the first question, Rahul bhai.
Right.
So the first question is very common. Why events?
Yes. Why events is very interesting. Events happened to me. I was blessed that events happened. Back in 1997, Michael Jackson came down to India. And that was awakening for me to see the stage, the lights, the sound, how Michael Jackson came off under the stage in a rocket. And it all was awe-inspiring in terms of how did this all happen. And I told my father that, this is the kind of work that I would always want to do. And, I would love to do it in the near future. Well, I think God did hear about it. And I started working in call center. It was a very regular life. I came back doing early morning graveyard shift. In fact, came home at around 11:30. And at that time, Reliance had just launched new phones. 500 rupees mein, you would get these phones. And I got one, and I was luckily called by one of the guys from Whiscraft. And they said that, we have an event. We need somebody who can come and supervise, understand what it is. And we've got a reference from someone. So would you like to come? And I said, yes, I'll be more than happy to. And I still remember it was 3:30 in the afternoon. And the gentleman who's my guru, who taught me most of the things, said that, agar तुम 6:30 बजे तक थाना पुलिस ग्राउंड पे पहुंच गए, which is in मुंबई थाने, he said if you can reach by then, great. अगर तुम कहीं पे भी लेट हो गए और अगर 6:30 बज गए, तुम वहीं से U-turn ले लेना and चले जाना. And that was the first thing that struck my mind, saying that events is all about you're on a war front. You have to be ready for 40 problems bouncing on you, and you have to be ready for it. And I accepted the challenge. I reached there, and it was an event for the Mumbai police. It was called the Police Milava. And since then, I've never looked back. I think it was a pure soul connection.
Yes, absolutely. 14 plus years.
Yes.
So, Rahul bhai, when you began your journey, you began as a production, right? You began your journey in production. So How was your journey then? Like, how did you shift it from production to client servicing to business development? Now, so you have changed your side only. Now you are giving work to event planners.
True.
So how did this shift happen?
Well, Yash, it is all interconnected. And I am glad that when I started my journey, there was no event management classes, no NIEM. Or no brands who would, or like what you're doing, giving a online platform. None of this was available. And I learned from the grassroots level, and I was blessed to have a guru who told me that, Rahul, you have to go backstage for 1 hour. And when you come back after an hour, I need 10 questions from you. And वो 10 questions मुझे चाहिए ही चाहिए. It could be the most lamest question to, however, whatever you think you want to gauge, because I didn't know what was a light called, what was how a stage was
Yeah.
built. During my time, there was not, we used to make it out of proper falli, which was wood
Yes.
ply used back
Uh,
then. And, so learning production knowledge is a mandate. And
yeah.
the shift when, what was happening is I would show my interest when every time a client servicing guy would come to me with a requirement. I would take that kind of interest and say, कि next meeting में मुझे भी लेके चलेगा क्या? Because
Uh,
I was hungry to know and to hear from
more
the
and
horse's
more.
mouth directly rather than having
Yes.
a filter.
Yes.
And,
Absolutely.
I asked few colleagues, they were kind enough. They said, "Chup rehna, zyada baat nahi karna." But I would gauge and understand.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when that happened, it was, good, because I knew how to probe, how to ask the right set of questions, when,
Yeah.
how, what is the budgets, understand, gauge the client. And that
Yeah.
helped me to drift to client servicing. The beauty was, जब मैं client servicing पहुंचा और जब मैं cost लेता था client production वालों से, तो मुझे पता था
You
वो
already knew the cost.
कि मुझे पता था पहले से ही कि मुझे कितने cost में इसको lock
Yeah.
करना है. So
Yes.
it's always a healthy balance, and it's very,
Yes.
very
Yes.
important to have both
Both set
side
of
of
knowledge. Yes. Yes.
knowledge.
Yeah.
And with experience, of course, business development comes. Business development is, of course, yeah, it is. A lot of people say कि तलवार सर पे लटकी रहती है, because every month your boss is gonna come
Yeah.
to you and ask you कि ये महीने तुमने क्या किया, what have you
Yes.
drilled, what have you churned, what are the new accounts, or have you got repetitive business?
Yeah.
And it is, trust me, it is not very difficult. It is all about rapport, how you build that rapport with the
Yes.
client, take him to that comfort level, and with your production team, with your client servicing team, with your bosses, to once the client is confident, right, the business has to pour in.
And I still
So
remember that Mendonça. He was
yes,
like, we went for the first
first
time for the,
time, yes.
yeah, yeah. And even
He's
I
a
was
legend.
telling you, he's a legend, he's a legend. And I was back then the production wala guy, and I was telling you, please take me for a meeting, and I picked that
Sure,
meeting.
sure.
And he told you that you are a blue label and he's a red label. Please learn from him. Yeah, that was the
Right.
best experience. I
Yeah.
realized the importance of client servicing, and so it is so important to speak to client, because in future, if you have to start your own company, you should at least know how to
Very
talk to.
important.
Yeah. So that was, I think, one of my biggest experience working under you guys. Like, you have all the kind of knowledge, and that there are some of the things which I picked up कि नहीं मुझे production भी सीखना है. And if you remember, after quitting this job in 77, I took a production in Swaha. So when I
Correct.
learned production, so even I just followed the path. So that was great.
Right.
So
Yash, like they say, no experience is wasted. So,
yeah.
irrespective of what happens, everything is going to fall in
Yeah.
place. So that's very
Oh,
important.
everything. Yes, yes, yes. And now you have completely changed your side. Like, you
Yes.
were into the event management side. You were
Right.
working on field, like executing the event. Now you are giving events to the event planners. Like you have become the dream person for event planners. Now, why was that shift happening?
Yash, again, very blessed to be on the client side. Where I work now, Group M is, a temple of brands that are there. And, coming from an agency and understanding how things work always helps. And then when you're on the client side, being the face of the client and briefing the agencies, it is a great experience. ये है कि कोई आपको उल्लू नहीं बना सकता.
Yes, because you have seen everything.
क्योंकि आपको प्रोडक्शन का भी ज्ञान है, आपको क्लाइंट सर्विसिंग का भी ज्ञान है. एंड when you come on this side, then dealing with clients, what the clients needs are, and you become the mediator, and to balance it out is very, very crucial. Because a uh, for you, your vendors, your laborers, the painters, electricians, whoever is involved in the back end to make that event right, are the key people. They, like, you can't do without them. And equally is the client, because the client is the one who creates the need, and the execution guys are the ones which puts the dream for real. So it is very, very important and great to balance from both the sides.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Great. So Yash, say it is all about destiny. It is all
Yeah.
about how uh, you know being with client side. What I've also realized is when as an agency, uh, when I would work, I would think of an idea, but
Mm.
when you're on the client side, you brief multiple agencies, or you brief at least three agencies to pick and choose and be honest with them in terms of what ideas are they bouncing. Are these ideas that are going to connect to my brand, is going to make that significant impact
Yeah.
onto the people, and you evaluate and you do justice to the agency. There is no favorism. Jiska idea is the best,
Best. Yeah.
and of course it always boils down to
Cost.
the money, the cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is all about that. But yes, it's the idea that clicks, and it just makes you more sharper in terms of saying that,
Yeah.
okay, what agencies are doing, and you get to compare an apple to an apple, which is great.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So Rahul, bhai, currently you are mainly into experiential marketing, if I'm right, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, but experiential marketing, mein, if I see, there are not many agencies in India who even know about this experiential marketing. And until I was working in 77, even I didn't knew there is something called as experiential marketing. Even I have done colleges and everything. But
Sure.
experiential marketing is like very less unheard, very less heard. And so, what is this experiential marketing according to you exactly?
Right. So see, Yash, to put it in a very simple layman term, today we take care of accounts. Okay, when I'm saying
Yeah.
accounts, it could be, you think of a brand, and whatever brand it could be, a McDonald's or a Burger King, to automotive based Volvos or Jaguar Land Rovers.
Yeah.
To you think of a brand, and what happens is every brand, you plan a calendar, and when you plan a calendar, you have to give there is some kind of an experience that you have to offer connecting to the brand, and that is very, very important. You'll do a product launch. I've seen your videos on
Yeah.
how the product launches are done, and
Yeah.
I completely understand and relate, and that was a very, very good one, the way you explained. What happens is, Yash, for an example, I have a brand today. Let's say, let me not name any brand, but let's say it's a toothpaste, okay?
Okay.
And they say that I have to do a product launch. आज मैंने उनके लिए product launch कर लिया. They are already on the top retailers, your big bazaars, to you name the brand, and they are on the shelf. People are buying. The product is rolling very well. But comes a significant time where the brand can make a massive impact. And how do you make that? So to give you an example, for a toothpaste brand itself, at Kumbh Mela, the world's largest human gathering
Yes.
that happens,
Yes.
we did, we realized, how can you make a significant difference? How can you add on that experiential experience that people will come to know? So Kumbh Mela में हम बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं कि राम श्याम खो गए,
Yes.
लोग खो
Yes.
जाते
Yes.
हैं. Kumbh Mela
Yes.
is known for
It has the image. Yeah.
right, and we thought, how do we ensure that people don't get lost? So what we did is we created a very simple thing, okay? Because see, when you're catering to a
Hmm.
brand like Kumbh Mela, a festival like
Yeah.
Kumbh Mela, you're not gonna expect like the creme. Everybody is there. So you're talking about rural India, which is still date 68 to 70% of India, and when they come with old parents, kids. They are scared कि हम खो जाएंगे, हम गुम जाएंगे. सो हमने क्या किया, हमने सिर्फ एक रोप ली, वो रोप में हमने रिंग्स लगाए, एंड
Okay.
सब ने रोप पहन ली. सो इट इज लाइक
Okay.
हाउ you have the train,
Yeah.
Bombay
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
train
So
ka
you're
the
connected to
loop.
each other.
You're connected to each other, and it's just a
Yeah.
rope. The rope had the
Oh.
branding of that at the
Yes.
toothpaste, and there were like 5 to 6 people who would walk in a line to make sure that they are not lost. Now that is how we did a significant experience. Now
Yeah.
what we also did, we told them कि यार आप cleanse तो कर रहे हो, आप dip लगा रहे हो, but then the first thing is even about the oral hygiene, swachh.
Yeah.
They say, right, swachh tan to swachh man.
Yes.
And that is why we also gave them the sample. Then we did about 3 crores of sampling for that particular brand,
3
and
crores of sampling.
3 crores of sampling
That's
across that entire Kumbh Mela. And
wow.
challenging, lost a lot of weight because you have to walk, and but it's a beautiful experience, and that is how
Yes.
you create that significant experiential experience for the brand. So that is how I would want to connect this with. How you make that events are there, activations are there, but how your brand make that experience is what matters.
Yeah. So basically, experiential marketing is an event person having a marketing knowledge with a little bit of common sense and great idea.
it all has to be fused together.
Fused together. Yes. So how do you see experiential marketing growing in India?
Right. Yash, you'll be actually surprised to know that a lot of experiential events or experiential marketing is happening almost 10 years, say, in our rural India. And, rural India is huge. See, there are volumes, right? We are a densely populated country. And when it comes to rural, it is a huge market. It makes a lot of significant uh, you know, it's a very significant uh, point when you say that how when you compare to brands which are doing globally, how they fuse it in, and how in India we are fusing it in, is quite similar. But I must say that in India when we do it, it's quite challenging. Yet the amplification of it is huge, because जितने कुछ कंट्रीज तो ऐसे जहाँ पे हमारी जो स्टेट की पॉपुलेशन है उतने उनकी पूरी कंट्री की पॉपुलेशन है. एंड to give you an example, I read a lot of books, and I would advise you to look at a link of Lifebuoy that they did an experiential activity at the Kumbh Mela only. This was back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So what was happening is, a lot of people when they came, so there are gharanas where you come and eat food, and what was happening was, a lot of people gave a very basic idea कि हाँ हम wash basin लगा देते हैं, and you people will wash hands, and we'll give sampling of Lifebuoy का soap and things like that. But what was the clutter breaking thing that Lifebuoy did, or the agent? So what Lifebuoy did? They made a die, okay, which was printed in Hindi. So जब फुलके रोटी जब बन रहे थे, तो जब गरम इस पे ना, they would do like a press on the roti, and when they were serving the roti in the langar, or in the gharanas, when you're at Kumbh Mela, when you open the roti, it said Lifebuoy se haath dhoya kya. It was a very it's a very simple thing, but
so
so आप जब रोटी का निवाला तोड़ने से पहले आप जब रोटी खोल रहे हो देखने के लिए, उस पे वो सिर्फ जैसे हैना के कैसे ब्लॉक्स आते हैं हैना टैटू के, but this is गरम हो रहा है and they're just punching straight, so it is edible as well. There is no color, there is nothing. It is a pure print of the heat which is Lifebuoy.
Yes.
We managed to do so many people who actually got up, washed their hands, came back, and ate the food. So this is the kind of impact that has been going on since. So I think this happened in 2014, and a lot of experiential marketing and events of this magnitude is happening in India. Yeah, it is, and these are award-winning activations. They are remarkable. They just blow your mind, saying, look at a simple idea and how it can make so much difference.
So you talked about experiential marketing, and so you talked about two case studies also, which was my next question. Like, let's
Right.
bring out some case studies, and so if you have some other case study, if you want to bring up some case study, we can look into some case studies.
Sure, I'll give you one more example.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So IKEA, right? It's a brand that when I was in UAE, I saw that. Sorry about that. So IKEA as a brand caters to smart housing, furnitures or appliances that can make a very good difference. And when they wanted to launch, uh, you know, globally, they thought, how can you do something engaging and how can I show all my products to people, because they are selling right from a sofa set to chairs to hand towels to whatever that can make a difference to your home, and in a very smart way. So I don't know about the agency which did this, but they were very smart enough. They actually took a life-size hoarding. So imagine you have a hoarding at Juhu or at a massive size hoarding, and they actually planted the chair, the furniture, the books, the bookshelf, everything on the hoarding, real
Oh,
time. So when
okay.
you saw the hoarding, you would see it vertically, and uh, you would look and say, "Ki yaar, I wish my bedroom was like that, or I wish my hall was like that," because they would do that. This could be your bedroom, or this could be
Mhm.
your. And when you're driving through, you look at it and you're like, "Wow, yeah, these are some smart furniture that I." And the way they designed, so they actually created a living room on a hoarding. To
Oh, yeah.
amplify that, they also participated in a lot of festivals where they thought that the brand could do justice, and they fused in rock climbing onto that. So they said, hey, you know what, you do rock climbing, reach to the furniture that you want to. If you successfully do it, I'm going to give you a discount on it, a
Wow,
discount voucher.
that's great.
So while they were promoting health and fitness, they also made sure that the activity was done. A lot of people wanted to come, and then that is how IKEA boomed, and people came to know about their
Mm-hmm.
products, because like they say,
Yes.
"Jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai." So
दिखता है वो
you,
बिकता है. Yes.
come on, and how do I sell a sofa to the masses who are traveling on a Western Express highway, or
Yes.
somebody who's in Delhi on a regular traffic, and how can I show them what I have, and to put
Yeah.
it up on a hoarding, a real time life size, made a massive difference. So that is another kind of a experiential thing that I would like to put it as a
Yeah.
case study. Beautifully done, and
Mhm.
left a great impact on the brand.
Yeah. That's the reason experiential marketing is like my personally favorite also, because like this is like direct experience plus marketing, because because even the clients have a direct ROI on it. Like
Correct.
this is the only type of event which has the direct ROI. So
Correct.
moving forward, like if somebody is now interested in experiential marketing or something, so how would you advise them to move into this industry? Like what is the steps, or you want to you'll just advise them to start gradually in event industry and then identify like how to get into this?
Yash, there are many ways to get into this. The most important thing is to read, or
Yeah,
to, with social media and with online
explore.
digital platforms, just explore. इतने ideas है ना that will just blow your mind in terms
Yeah,
of, it'll just make you more aware about the ideas, because the simplest idea can make a mammoth difference
yes,
to what the brand is. You'll think कि यार it is a very vela idea, but it works. To give you
yes,
an example, actually, I have a Sprite ka can right in front of me, and it reminded me of a picture that when you and I were in back in '77, and we were doing some research in terms of what kind of engagement we could do for a festival. Let's not
yes,
name
I
the
remember.
festival, right?
Yeah,
And you came up with जो फाउंटेन पेप्सी का जो एक्चुअल यूनिट
yes, yeah,
होता है, वो यूनिट को हम लाइफ साइज बनाए एट अ
yeah,
फेस्टिवल इन गोवा, where people actually use that as a shower. So
shower.
you press, and McDonald's mein when you get the cup
Mhm.
and you're filling in, and that you're the cup and you're filling and refreshing yourself
Yeah.
with the
Yes.
Sprite branding. And I remember you helping me with that, and we read about it. So,
Yes.
it's a very simple thought that can make a. So,
Yes.
the idea is to be fully aware, read, visit, a lot of content online. Google is the mother of all.
Mother. Yeah.
You want something, Google it and it's there. Of course, there are
Yeah.
various platforms like events and FAQs. We have
Yeah.
your platform which talks about this. So uh, it has become easy, uh, and this will come with time. A lot of
Yeah.
client servicing people, to irrespective of whether you're in client servicing or in operations, when you are able to share an idea, I think that's where it makes the difference.
Yeah.
So being aware is the mantra.
Mantra. Yeah. So with this, we got quite a few insights about experiential marketing. So before moving to the rapid fire round, just the last question: what are the struggles that you faced in this industry?
Oh, Yash, there are so many of them. We would have to make one more
Yes.
session on this. But I
Yeah.
remember back in Westcraft, I will not name the wedding event for who I was doing, but it was for somebody who was a big shot, and
Yeah.
we were doing an event at Mahalakshmi Racecourse in Bombay. And at that time we made a stage which was like about 150 feet by a good 50 to 60 feet in depth at that point in time. And that was again during the days when there was fully, and today you still have proper metal where you can harness it and lock it. But I'm talking about that era. And because this was a VIP wedding, the Bollywood to the politics, they both were there. So
Yeah.
to everybody wanted to come, wish the bride and groom, and move off the stage. And there was a time, because of the moisture kicking in the evening, it was an evening event, and because it was on a ground Mahalakshmi racecourse, there was moisture. And when there is moisture, the soil tends to become a little it's a little marshy.
Yeah.
And the stage started to sink from front a little bit, because there were at one point in time there were
Yeah.
like 100 people who just wanted to come,
Yeah.
wish the bride and groom, and move out.
That's how weddings are.
So, and when we realized that that was happening, my guru back then said, Rahul, run and call the laborers. So we had like about 80 laborers on standby that were at the backstage. We were there in case. And when you work with the labor brothers, the blue collar guys, they work day and night and relentlessly
Yes.
traveling and sleeping on trucks, and during one point to another venue to another place. And they all were sleeping, and to wake them up was a task.
Yeah.
And then it was the presence of mind. We There were a lot of bamboos behind. हमने ना वो
Yeah.
bamboo तोड़ के 1 feet, 1.5 feet, 2.5 feet के bamboos randomly तोड़े, and 80 laborers, and I was the 81 guy who went
Okay. The stage.
from back end. And we sat under the stage for almost an hour and a half till
Oh.
everything subsided. And of course, the MC then was announcing that I would appreciate that a
Yeah.
group of 20 come in, and to ease in the
Yeah.
pressure on this thing. But we were just there giving support to the stage. And
Stage.
I will never forget that, because it is again, like I said, presence of mind, because I would have got the labels up, and then ab main kya karu. So
Yeah. Yeah.
bamboos dekhe, bamboo tode, just make sure ki
Yeah.
support dekhe, event nikal jaye.
Jugaad.
So
Jugaad is important.
Jugaad is the mantra, presence of mind is the mantra. And
Mantra.
it works.
Yeah.
It works. Like I said, our industry is such ki you are on the border. you have to be prepared for 40 problems bouncing at you at one time, and you have to tackle it all. So
Yeah.
I will never forget that, how it happened. And
Yeah.
the guys were very, very kind enough. The client was very kind enough that he went out of the way, and with the family, when there is a wedding done and then the close family sits together and eats food, he made sure that the 80 laborers also were a part of the family, and there was a level of respect given. So
Yes.
you
Yeah.
learn from these things,
Absolutely.
irrespective of whether you're a labor or a client or whoever. You got to be humble, you got to be keeping your head on shoulders. And so I will never
Yeah.
forget that one experience of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rahul bhai, it was great having you. So before we end up, I have a small round, which is rapid fire round. You just have to give one word
i'm,
or two words. Yeah.
I'm ready.
For yeah. So here
Am I
comes the
gonna
first question.
am I gonna win a hamper? Is the
Yeah,
question.
absolutely. As you asked me
Okay.
for a 1 liter armrest.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
go.
set
Let's
you
go,
up.
brother. Shoot.
Yeah,
Come on. I'm
yeah.
ready.
So, your favorite event?
My favorite event was, the Worli Sea Link launch that we did with David Coulthard, the Formula One driver, getting him, and he started from Worli and ended at the Bandra part in approximately 5 to 6 seconds. He clipped his vehicle, the Formula One car, and almost 400 kilometers per hour. It was brutal, and I will never forget that. I loved it.
Yes, yes. I've heard this story before also. But yeah, moving forward. Craziest thing you did on event?
Well, the most craziest thing, I usually don't eat food at the client's place.
Yeah.
It's a very standard thing for me that I'm paid for my services, or the management fees should cover my food and bit. But once happened where the client forced me to eat. I ate, and I spilled something on my shirt, and I was so embarrassed that the caterer who was serving, I said, "Give me your jacket."
Oh
So,
shit.
to cover it
This
up.
one is
So,
really crazy, really crazy.
that was crazy.
Yeah. Uh, one advice to anybody who wants to get into event industry.
Please get into it. Just be mentally prepared that problems will come, but it is all about your inner spirit. Kill it, and just don't give up. That's the idea. Just don't give up. There are solutions, there are ideas. You just have to pause, think, and act. And if you
Yeah.
do this, there is no one that can hold you back.
Yeah. Last question. What's the secret of your energy?
Boost. No. Well, yeah, Yash, I'll tell you what. I'm 37. I think
Yeah.
young guys, young guns like you. When I see you guys, I'm like, नहीं यार मैं इसको तो टक्कर दे सकता हूँ. So I always now uh, tell myself, love yourself, and tell yourself कि यार you're the most kadak guy and you can do it, and nothing can stop you, and that's the mantra.
Great, Rahul bhai. It was amazing session. I hope everybody will enjoy, and
I
I'll share
hope
your
so.
links. So yeah, I'll share your LinkedIn links also behind this below this video.
Sure,
And
sure.
in case anybody of you have who are watching it on YouTube or anywhere, you can just comment down your questions if you have any questions related to experiential marketing. And just wish you all the very best. Wish you all the very best to get into this industry, and hope you all become events expert. Thank you so much, Rahul bhai.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Do like and subscribe and ring the bell icon for Yash. He's doing a fabulous job. And you please support him. I am supporting him as well. And we all can grow together.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rahul bhai.
Thanks. Bye.